So we're the 4 8th graders here on this trip, which unfortunately means that we're going to be the last, or this is going to be the last time we're here.
Me and Alyssa, this will be our 3rd time going and our last. It's really disappointing, but all 3 times have been really good.
Yeah.
This is my first time and my last time, unless we can somehow convince Nick to do a high school mission trip to San Francisco. Yeah, it's my first time and last time, and I really wish I went in 6th grade, and all 6th graders should do this. It's so fun.
This was my first and last time, which I wish I was able to do it the last 2 years, and it was really fun.
If you guys did this again, what would be the one thing that you would be super excited to do and have the chance
go
to
to
do?
the food bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the food bank's always fun. And I like handing out hot chocolate and working at the soup kitchen like we did last year.
Yeah.
I liked handing out the bags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
some
really
tours.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing you guys saw on this trip? And
The drugs and alcohol use by far.
And
Yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if being your last time here, what would you say is your personal takeaway that you're not going to forget because of this trip?
Crystal.
Who was Crystal? Explain that for us.
She was like a homeless lady, but she was at the homeless church and was all really excited about everything, praising God.
Anything and everything could make her happy.
Mm-hmm.
She gave us hugs and kisses.
Just having us listen to
Yeah.
her. That's what she wanted, was someone to listen to her.
Someone,
Yeah.
so she can tell someone cares about her.
So this being our first trip with the students here from SCF was a lot of fun. A lot of them I've known in and out from older siblings, but a lot of them I barely have gotten to know in the last 2 weeks. But through this trip, we really got to see a lot of them grow. Specifically, there's some that came in that I felt coming in I knew nothing about. I didn't have any idea of who they were. And within a few days of this small trip, I feel like I've known them for years, and they've been a part of the youth group that I've been running forever. And I'm super excited to see where those relationships are going to go.
It's been amazing to see the prayers of the student really mature. Over all of them, every single one of them has prayed out loud over people in hotels and transient situations, for the homeless, and it's been amazing to see their compassion and their love for God and for these people as well.
I think you hit it very clear with the prayers. When we were in the hotel, when we're walking up the stairs, the students that were with me were very nervous. We're not too excited to knock on someone's door of their home and say, "Can I pray for you?" And 2 or 3 doors in, it became an excited thing. And just to see, students like Blake just step up and say, "Hey, can I pray for you for whatever?" and then go ahead and pray over them was so exciting to see him take that step. And going from 2 seconds before saying, you do it, I'm not touching that door, I'm not going to knock on that door, to the next one going, I'll take the next door. It was a lot of fun.
Before we left town to come here to San Francisco, one of the prayer requests I put out was that we would have an opportunity to see Jesus at work here in the city, and that our students would have one of those big aha moments. And something that was interesting to me throughout the weekend is I started to not be sad, but go, we're going to leave this weekend and we're not going to have one of those big aha moments where they really see God's hand here. And then tonight when we were doing reflections, I just had a time to just sit and think a little bit, and I realized, there wasn't a big aha moment. There were a million little aha moments, a million opportunities I had to see the students reflecting Jesus to each other, not only to the folks that we came to minister to, but as a team and as a community, they were ministering to each other in a variety of different reasons. And I'm just really thankful to be here and to have witnessed that.
I'm so glad you went first. Because, you kind of really summed it up. For me, one of the, and again, it goes back to the reflections, but it's also just the whole weekend. And for me, Also, just being here with my daughter and seeing her grow, just really not both in Christ, but also just socially and with everything that's going on. I just really enjoyed more or less sitting back and just watching her. As far as myself, I have really enjoyed the whole weekend. Even the hair pulling out drive down with the, I don't know how many kids were in the van screaming, and they wanted the radio on, and then they didn't even notice that I turned it off.
That's a parent trick, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, I have two quick things. One of which, we had an interesting mix, boys versus girls. We have 5 boys and 11 girls here. And the boys took it upon themselves to kind of step up, be like big brothers to them, and just kept an eye out for them through the whole trip. So I thought that was a really neat thing and responsible thing to do. And additionally, these kids seem to have a heart not just to make this trip a checklist, like a hit and run kind of opportunity, but a lot of them have voiced a desire to take what they're doing here back home, because that's where we live. And I'm hoping that you as parents can encourage them to do that when they get home.
To kind of sum it up at the end, and I'm going to speak for each of us because we've talked before, we want to thank you for trusting us with your children, because they have blessed our lives twofold.
This message is for David LeBaron.
We miss you!
Feel better, David. We miss you a lot.
Bye!